I am Grace. So happy you are here. Whatever time of day it is for you, I hope you are doing well and finding peace in your heart. And you are invited to our online and in-person One World Earth event, a global meditation for peace this Saturday. One World, 1 p.m., first Saturday, live in person at John's Place, and we'll be streaming live through this platform. So please join us, even if for a moment or two, joining us as we meditate for peace on earth. And let's begin. We're going to be practicing a hip opener practice today, opening the hip, and at the same time with the intention of opening the heart, keeping the heart open, even in those times of challenges. The hardest time to keep the heart open, practicing keeping that heart open. So let's begin by closing the eyes and bringing the awareness inward into that kingdom of heaven, into that source of your being, your existence. Feeling the earth underneath you, supporting your body. And as you dive in, beginning to identify yourself as far more than just this body. Body is just a temporary expression, like a nice outfit that you get to wear for a little while. We love it and we take care of it, yet it isn't the eternal part of us. So as we dive in, connecting to that more eternal part of our being that expands infinitely beyond the body and infinitely inside the body. And we are going to dive in and bask in this dynamic energy field that is us. And take a moment to scan and notice and bring some attention to this inner being. Notice any tingling, sensations, warmth or cool, energy moving, pulsations. I invite you to dive into your own being in silence now. Taking a moment to dive into the emotional body. Just dive in and bask in, bring it on, all the emotions that you can feel. No judgment. If you like to use a hand mudra, Shin mudra is a beautiful one to rest on your knees with the thumb and pointer finger connected, or any combination of fingers. Kimi, all the fingers touch, rest in your lap. Whatever feels right for you as you dive into that emotional body. And taking this moment now as you're fully connected to yourself, emotional, energetic being, your physical body. And set an intention and set that into your consciousness, into the fertile ground, and begin to visualize those effects for a few breaths. And coming back, that beautiful intention set, and we're going to begin to make some circles with the neck. Just gentle circles, nice and slowly, connecting with our body, with the muscles, the sensations, and remembering if you ever have a spot you want to just massage a little bit or spend a little more time on, let yourself indulge in that. And we're going to be engaging bandhas throughout this practice. And the bandhas, there's 3 bandhas, the Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, and Jarandala Bandha. The Mula Bandha is the pelvic floor, kind of like the root lock or the Kegels, but we don't clench it like Kegels. So we're just going to gently engage the pelvic floor in the Mula Bandha, and we're going to bring it up. So as you're sitting here, you can almost feel if you engage the Mula Bandha, it lifts like up off the floor and comes in up to the center of the body towards the navel. And let's go the other direction with our hand. Uddiyana Bandha, we bring the belly in and up, but it's just very gentle. It's not a clenching. It's moving up in a gentle engagement. And the Jarandala Bandha, the chin comes in and the tongue is on the roof of the mouth. And we engage these bandhas so that we can seal in the energy, their energy locks. So as we breathe and bring in the breath and the prana, and we engage the bandhas, we increase the energy inside the body for vitality and health and well-being and aliveness. We are attaining towards sacred embodiment. Coming back to center. Bring the hands to the knees, and we're going to make some circles. Call it pelvic circles. Moving the torso around the pelvis, noticing sensation, and again, being fully present to the sensations. You can gently engage the bandhas, and we're going to be breathing into the belly. So breathing into the belly now, full focus. Let's go the other way with our circles. Maybe you already have, but want to spend more time. So as we go through this practice, the invitation is in any pose, you can opt in or opt out. You're on the mat, and then you can hold that pose longer than I prompt or come out of it shorter. So always knowing to honor your body, and if any time you need to take a break, so you've gone both directions, come back to center. Anytime you need to take a break, feel free just to go into child's pose or seated pose or even Savasana. And so let's bring those feet together in Baddha Konasana. And we're opening up the hips, and we're putting an intention to also open up our hearts. Keep those hearts open, and especially times of hurt, when we feel like we've been hurt. Let's take those knees and flop them a little bit. Let's loosen them up. I call them butterfly wings. Take a little flight. So when we feel hurt, and we feel someone has hurt us, it's hard for us to keep our heart open, not only to that person, but sometimes it's hard to keep our heart open to anything. So we just kind of close down. And sometimes we need that for a moment. We need to just bring our energy in, and it's not time to we're hurt, and it's not time for us to spread that energy out to the world. We don't have it to give. You have to be honest. And resting those knees, and then let's press those knees down towards the earth. Inhale as we open the heart, feel the spine lengthen towards the sky, engage those bandhas, and on the exhale, hinging forward at your hips for our Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose, hip opener. And when you get to your edge, taking a nice deep breath here. Heart is open. And release. And so if we take that time for ourselves, and hopefully as we awaken and we expand and we grow and we mature and we continue to heal our mind, it takes a shorter and shorter time. But we might need a little time, maybe a little time to cry, or maybe a little time to just feel hurt. And then there's a time, hopefully, it's within 24 hours, where we can come back and we can open the heart. We can just say, okay, this has been hurtful, but I'm not going to change my open heart. I'm not going to let whatever out there hurt me allow me to shut down my light to the world. And knowing that this is your source and it's within you, and you can shine it out and shine out your love and keep your heart open regardless. Let's see if we can hinge down a little bit further. In our hands, engaging those bandhas, and breathe with that heart open. Our commitment to be ourselves, our wide open hearts, regardless of what goes on in the images around us. Those are our opportunities to heal our own mind. Show us a space inside of us that needs love and healing. And coming up. Beautiful job. All right, so we're going to move into hero pose. So we're going to come on our knees. And we're going to be sitting on our heels for a moment here, just nice and comfortable. And this can be your pose, Virasana. It's hero pose. And another option is to take those feet, shins and feet out a little wider and scoot yourself right in between your legs. So you're sitting on the earth now. And this is another option for our hero's pose. And what we're going to do, I'm going to go into Supta, Reclined Hero's Pose, in a minute. But for right now, let's engage those bandhas and take a couple breaths in your hero. Let's take 3 nice breaths in our hero's pose. Engaging the bandhas and going within and feeling the heart open. Feeling the heart tenacious. No matter what storm comes by, I am still going to shine my light. I might give myself a little time to go in and lick my wounds, but I will come out shining my heart even brighter. Beautiful job. Coming back to center with that open heart. We're going to come down. If you like, the invitation is to come down into a Supta Virasana. And onto your back. And you can bring a blanket to come back onto if this is too much extension for you. And you can feel those front thighs stretching and bring those front legs down to the earth if you can. And breathing into the belly. Engaging the bandhas, bringing in the prana, feeling your heart open. The world doesn't have a say in that. That is your unconditional commitment. And as you expand your heart being open, expand it to being open to everyone and everything. And one more breath. You may just still be in your hero, because this is just an option. You can come to your forearms and your elbows and bring yourself up. Hands up. Beautiful, beautiful job. So our next pose is a seated squat. So we're going to come up onto our feet and just resting back on our heels, just moving into a squat. And you can take your arms, your elbows, and you can actually press those legs out wider. It feels really good for a nice little hip opener. And engaging those bandhas, and let's breathe. Breathing into and out of the heart as you feel it expand and open with every breath. Feeling the peace of having a simple open heart. And any little resistances or closeness or unforgivenesses, just allow the light to continue to brighten and just burn those away naturally. And one more breath here. Beautiful. And coming down. And we're going to move into Agnisthambasana, fire log. And I like to do that by opening up both legs. Nice wide stance. And we'll take this right leg and we'll bring it so it's parallel to the mat if you can. So the leg is shin is parallel to the mat. And we might make a few adjustments as you go for your body. Then we're going to take the left leg and we're going to bring the left ankle, line it right up with the right knee. Where's my little cushion? I use a block today. So the knees are lined up with the ankles and flexing the feet. The feet are flexing. As you can see, I have a little bit of a flexibility issue here. So I use a little cushion or a block, or you can just allow that space to be. And then inhale, lengthening that spine, and then beginning to exhale, hinging forward a little bit. Noticing the sensation in your hips as you hinge forward. Engage those bandhas, find your edge here in your forward hinge, and just breathe into the sensations of the pose, fully present to the sensations and feeling that open heart expanding. Taking a few breaths here now. Feeling the light of your heart grow stronger. Feeling those hips open. Deep inside your own self, where the kingdom of heaven dwells. Source, creator of all. And coming gently up. Beautiful job. We're going to go to the other side. So take those legs back out wide. Let's take this left leg and bring it in, lining it up so it's parallel to that long edge side of the mat here. And then taking the right leg, stacking those ankles over the knees. And let's go a little off flexibility here. And flexing those feet, both feet flexing, inhaling, lengthening the spine, and then exhaling, hinging forward and finding your edge. I can hinge forward very much on this side. I'm going to lock up in the hips here. So finding that point where your edge is and holding that little bit of effort there, that edge where you're feeling sensation and you don't feel like you're just on a 7, and breathing into it. With yoga, we don't want to be in pain. We feel we're stretching the muscles, we're feeling sensation, but if we're in sharp pain, we back off. Breathing into that hip, finding that meditation of the open heart. We'll breathe in silence together. Fully present to your body and sensation in the heart. One more breath, noticing all the sensation, basking in that nectar. Beautiful job. And then coming up, nice hip opener. A lot of sensation, releasing those legs. Now we're going to go into another one, but let's do this before we do that. Let's go into a child's pose because we're going to be going into frog mandu konasana. Mandu. I love the frog. I always think of mandu. Mandu konasana. So let's go into child's pose for a minute. Just resting into child's pose, letting everything release and relax, noticing sensation and diving into your own heart, resting in your sacred heart, allowing it to be open to you right now. And then coming up. And so what we're going to do is we are going to bring those knees apart. And we're going to come up onto our hands with the knees wide. And then we're going to take the lower leg and the feet, shin the calf, gastrocnemius, and out wider than the knees. And so we're in our frog position. Hands are in front. You can use a block if you like in front. And what we're going to do is we're going to hinge those hips back. So take the hips, the pelvis, and move it back towards the feet. And find your edge. Honor your edge. I'm not able to go back very far. I feel enough sensation. Find that perfect edge for you. Engage those bandhas and let's breathe in this pose. It's a nice hip open. Dive into sensation. Dive into the heart. One more breath. Really present with yourself. Coming back up. Releasing those feet. And let's move into child's pose again. And using this time to really connect intimately with yourself. See how deeply you can keep the focus on your own heart. I'll give you a few moments of silence. And gently coming up. Beautiful job. And allowing those nice child's poses while we sink in, just allowing visions to come up and insights to come up and just to come up from your heart into your consciousness. They're bringing peace and healing parts and putting things together so that we can continue to heal the body mind so that the divine intelligence can more powerfully flow through us moment to moment. So we're going to move into lunge. Let's go into a table. Let's go into a little cat-cow just to feel that flexion and extension of the spine. Cow, the chest and heart are open. Back is arched and tail is sticking out. And then our cat, moving into flexion. We're going to tuck the tailbone under, round that back like a Halloween cat. The head drops so it's looking towards the thighs and moving the belly. And that's our exhale. So inhaling into our cow and exhaling into your cat. Going back and forth at your own pace. Fully present to the body, feeling that foundation. Knees are hip width apart, hands are shoulder width apart. Feeling that nice solid grip with your hands on the earth, backs of your feet, and beginning to add some spontaneous movements if you like. In your cat, come back and move some circles with the hips. Just breathing and moving spontaneously through this nice, beautiful cat-cow. Fully present to your body and sensations. Engaging the bandhas. Let's breathe. Coming back to center. Beautiful job. Let's take that right leg and bring it right between the hands. And we're going to go into a low lunge. You can bring that knee back a little bit, but not too much for the low lunge. And let's begin to lunge forward. Hands are on the mat. Just feel that opening of the left hip. And engage the bandhas. Let's breathe into this beautiful edge, opening that left hip. And then let's begin to lunge back, opening up back muscles of the front leg. You can flex and extend that front foot. Just moving back and forth into lunge rocks. Open that hip a little as you lunge forward. Make some spontaneous movements. Fully engaged in sensations. So engaging the bandhas and breathing now through this beautiful lunge rocks, finding your pace. Fully immersed in sensation and the nectar of your own being. Fully present to the self. All the koshas in the bodies. Physical, energetic, mental, emotional. It's a bliss body. Keeping the breath flowing through the belly. Fully present. Awareness moving the body. Awareness as our identity. And creating sacred embodiment. And coming back to center. And we're going to take that right knee back. We're going to switch sides. We're going to bring the left leg forward between the hands. And we're going to move into a lunge on this side. So if you want to bring that knee back a little, lunging forward. Feeling a nice opening on the right hip. Engaging those bandhas. Resting on this edge and breathe. Fully present. Allow everything to stop. Simply rest in the here and now. Noticing the sensations of the hip opening. Gently coming back. And we're going to hinge, straightening out that left leg, that front leg. Feeling a nice stretch on the calf and the hamstring. Flexing and extending the front foot for new sensation if you like. Breathing, engaging the bandhas, and beginning to just go into your lunge rocks, hinging forward and back, making any little spontaneous movements. And relax the hands, shoulders, and lunge back. Use your Ujjayi breath for more focus. Then coming back to center. So let's do this. Let's switch sides. Bring that right leg up just so that you can see me a little better, because we're going to move into our blaster pose. And we're going to take both hands on the inside of that front foot. And you can put a blanket under your knee. We're going to bring the back knee back. And you can also use a block here. Use a block, you can even use a table. And so here you are, both hands inside the front foot. Back knee is back to the position it feels right in. And then we're going to hinge forward a little bit as you feel that hip opener in blaster pose. And engage those bandhas and bring in the breath as you bring your awareness to all the sensation in and around your body, energetically, physically, emotionally, even tapping into that bliss body to bask in the nectar of your own being. fully connected to self. Beautiful job. And backing up and back to neutral. Let's take that right leg back. Open those hands again in front and take the left leg forward. And that a little bit. We're going to take both hands on the inside of the left foot. We're going to bring that right knee back to where it feels good for us. And again, we're going to start to hinge forward a little bit, feeling that edge. And when you're on that edge, engage those bandhas, breathe into the belly, and bask in present moment awareness. And the heart open. One more breath. In our blaster pose. And then coming up, and let's move into child's pose again. And taking a few breaths, just allowing everything to sink into our being. Resting in our sacred heart, we allow the sensation to embody our sacred temple. And gently coming up. And we're going to come up onto our knees. We're going to be moving into our Ustrasana camel. So we're going to come up onto our knees. And knees are hip width apart. Feet are right behind the knees. First thing we're going to do is tuck that tailbone under. Open up the spaces in the lumbar spine so that when we go back into our back bend, nothing crunches. So we're going to bring the hands right on our lower back here, on either side of the lumbar spine. And we're going to open the heart first. Feel the heart open and feel that back begin to extend backward just by feeling the heart opening. Nothing else, just a natural back bend. And the head is in alignment with the spine. You don't want to drop the head. And then we're going to move those hips so they're back over the knees. And you can come up to your toes. And if you like to deepen this pose, you can bring the hands down to the heels and bring those hips back over the knees. Engage the bandhas and breathe. Feel the heart open. Allow it to open for no reason, yet that's its true nature. One more breath. Beautiful job and coming up. And we're going to move again into child's pose, opening those knees, resting in another opportunity to really bask in the nectar of your own sacred sanctuary of the heart. Gently coming up. Beautiful job. So we're going to move into pigeon now. So a really beautiful hip opener. So let's come into our table position again. And then let's take this right knee up towards the right ankle. Open up the leg. And so we're ultimately going to try to get this front leg so it's parallel to the short edge of the mat here. But I'm not quite that flexible, so mine is not. The back leg is going to be coming back. So see if you can bring that back leg, extend it back a little bit. Bring the hands in front of the front foot and inhale, lengthen the spine. Feel that nice opening in the left hip. And as you exhale, you can begin to hinge forward if you like. You can come to a block. You come down to your forearms. And engaging your bandhas, making sure you don't flop down to the side. Your hips are lifted up and balanced in a squared and even way. Just engage those bandhas. Let's breathe into this beautiful hip opener. Pigeon. Coming up. Back into table. Beautiful job. And we're going to take that left leg up, bring the knee to the left ankle, and open up this left leg, getting it as parallel to the front of the mat as possible. Taking that right leg back a little bit, what feels right for you. And you can simply bring these arms forward, have them straight. This is beautiful sensation here. If you'd like to come to a block here or to your forearms coming down all the way, find your perfect pigeon and engage those bandhas, and let's breathe into the belly and bask in the nectar, in the sensations of our own infinite being. One more breath. And gently and kindly coming up, coming back into table. Let's scoot up to the front of the mat because we're going to go into, we're going to go onto our back and do a little bit of Supta Baddha Konasana and some reclined pigeon. So this is only if you have a nice cushy surface. If you're on a hard surface, you might want to just gently come down onto your back. If you can roll, it's a nice massage on those spinal muscles. Keeps you flexible. And eventually coming down so you're flat on your back. And you're resting here. And just take a moment to rest on your back with your feet flat on the mat. The knees are up. You can have the hands down or up, whatever feels more comfortable for you. And just take a moment to be present. Take a couple breaths to be present to this new way of being for the body, laying on the back. Noticing the energy shifts, the energy within. Beautiful. Let's move into our reclined pigeon first. Let's take that right ankle and rest it on the left leg and the knee. Let's bring the left leg up and we're going to pull that left leg in towards the body. So you feel a nice hip opener on the right side. And find your edge, making some effort and engaging the bandhas, and let's breathe into the belly. One more breath in. And releasing down. Beautiful job. And let's switch legs. So the right foot is on the mat, knees up. You're going to rest that left ankle on the right knee. And you're going to bring that right leg up. Clasp those hands behind the right leg, right on that hamstring, and gently pulling that right leg into the body to find your edge, feeling sensation, engaging the bandhas, and let's bring the prana in and the life force to the breath in the belly, fully present to sensation. Beautiful job. And then releasing that leg down, releasing the legs. Let's bring both legs up. And let's bring the hands behind the hamstrings, on the calves, and pull those legs gently in towards the body. Finding your edge here, engaging your bandhas, breathing into the belly, basking in sensation. One more breath. Beautiful job. Releasing those legs, and let's bring those feet together. We're going to be in Supta Baddha Konasana. So we're on supine butterfly. So we're on our backs, or we're in our butterfly pose. So wrapping the hands around the feet. Let's pull those feet in towards the body, feeling that sensation and finding that edge. Beautiful. Wonderful. Feels so good. Sensation. Engaging those bandhas. Breathing into the belly and feeling that heart open, wide open as you feel the shoulders come down to the earth. One more breath. Beautiful job. And let's move, before we go into our baby, let's move into a Let's move into a fish pose, Matsiasana. So we have one more little back bend for our heart. So the hands are palms down on the mat. Legs are extended straight out. We're going to bring a hand underneath each buttock and tuck those elbows in and the arms nice and tight into the body. So you're nice and tight. You can even touch those big toes if you like. And pressing into the elbows and the forearms, lifting the heart. Feel the heart lifting up, and that lifts the head up, and then gently coming down so you can rest the top of the head as close as you can get onto the mat. Feeling the heart open, engaging those bandhas, and breathe. Completely vulnerable, open, empty. Inhale, pressing into the elbows, lifting the head, lifting the heart, and exhaling gently, coming down, releasing those hands, and bring the knees into the chest, and let's rock back and forth and move into our final pose before our releases, our baby. So bringing those feet up, those knees up, opening up the knees, feet are facing the heavens, bringing the hands to gently wrap around the outer edges of your feet, and then pulling gently the feet in towards the body, feeling the knees coming in towards the armpits. The small of the back, the lumbar spine are resting on the earth, engaging those bandhas, and let's bring in the breath here. Fully present, basking. And beginning to move into Balasana, happy baby, kicking the feet around, moving the legs any way that feels good. It's your body. Just remembering those days when you were less than 1 year old and you naturally played in happy baby. And it felt good. And making any last movements or maybe a pose before we move into our releases. And getting set up for our releases, we're going to have the knees up, the feet flat on the mat, hip width apart. And we're going to move into our hula first. So feeling that hip swivel, the sacrum, the back is all flat on the mat. Nothing lifts up off the earth. But you're going to feel one hip drop down towards the heel. The opposite hip is coming up towards that armpit. And switching, just swiveling those hips. One at a time up to the armpit. Opposite goes down towards the heel. And engaging those bandhas and breathing into the belly, basking in sensation. Nice, slow, repetitive movements. And coming back to center, and then move into hip pointers. So you're going to take one hip at a time, point that up towards the heavens. That butt cheek can lift gently off the mat, others rooted into the earth. Pointing one hip at a time up towards the heavens. Engaging those bandhas and breathing for this beautiful release. Fully present. And coming back to neutral. Beautiful job. Let's move into some cat cow on the earth here. Cat, you're going to press the small of the back into the earth. Cow, you're going to feel that lumbar spine, that small of your back is going to arch up off the earth. So feel that flexion and extension in the lumbar spine. Engaging those bandhas, and let's breathe through this. Fully present to all the sensations, physical, energetic. Coming back to center, beautiful. With the knees up, we're going to walk the feet further and further apart from each other till they get to the wide edges of the mat. The knees are both up. And we're going to drop one knee at a time into the center for our single knee drop. Feeling sensation, basking in all the bodies. Engaging the bandhas and breathe. And coming back to center, and let's drop both knees over to one side, lifting that top knee up, bringing that gently over to the other side, allowing the other leg and knee to follow and stack up on top. And just going back and forth, fully present to sensation, keeping the breath flowing. And then coming back to center, both knees up, both feet flat on the floor. And let's bring those knees into the chest. Let's rock back and forth a little bit. And I'm going to invite you to go into a little mini samadhi today. So finding your position Savasana position. You may want to have your legs up the wall. You might like to sit up in your Savasana. We're going to go into a little extended Savasana and move into Samadhi. I am switching up. There's a lot of sun. We're switching up our Samadhi and Rapture. So I used to do Rapture on Thursdays, and now I'm doing Samadhi on Thursday and Rapture on Friday. I like it because it flows. We do a message on Monday, and then we do pranayama on Tuesday, and then mindfulness meditation on Wednesday, move into Samadhi on Thursday, and then kind of celebrate with Rapture on Friday. So it goes into a flow if you were to do it all together. You want to do Viasana, and then move into the message is John's message, so of course that's wonderful. And then moving into mindfulness meditation, and we move into pranayama to prepare, and then mindfulness meditation, and then moving into Samadhi, and then finally Rapture. So we're going to be resting onto the earth, sinking our body into the earth deeper and deeper. And begin to bring your awareness into your body. And I'm going to invite you to do a couple stretching exercises just to bring the body really present, fully embodied as much as possible. So on the next inhale, we're going to stretch the body out as much as you can. Everything, the limbs, the legs, the fingers, even the face, just stretching it out, stretching into your body as much as you can. And hold it for just a moment and then release. Just release the body and shake it out a little bit. And take a moment to kind of notice those sensations in the body. Feel yourself, the earth supporting your back, your body. Just relax into Savasana. And we're going to go into the stretch one more time. So inhaling, stretching the body out, the fingers, the toes, the legs, the torso, even the face. Stretching as much as you can. Stretching out and holding it a moment. You engage those bandhas. And release and let everything go. Just relaxing the body, shaking it out a little bit. Shaking it out. And then allowing yourself to rest into the earth, into deep stillness. Allowing the body to be still. Breathing into the belly gently and safe. Supported by all the universe. Everything within and everything without. Full support. So feel that gentle breath in your belly. Allow yourself to expand into your energy body. Diving deeper within. And more fully expanded out away from the physical body. It's an expansive energy field. Noticing within you those spinning chakras come down right down the spinal column. Notice that spinal column and the energy swirling up. So Sushumna Nadi, Adi, Ada, and Pingala Nadi dancing. As they spiral up around Sushumna through each chakra. vibrating, radiating, dynamic discs coming out the cone, like a cone out the top of the head, and going down out the root chakra, perineum, and then a vibrating, dynamic disc of energy coming out through each chakra, through the third eye, the front and the back, throat, front of the throat, the back of the head, the heart, front of the heart, the back of the heart, dynamic discs of energy. Solar plexus, the front and the back of the body. Navel, the front and the back. In that root and that crown. Crown extending infinitely up, root infinitely down. Feeling these energies. From the pulsation of your heart. And that pulsation expanding energetically through your entire body, out to every fingertip and toe. Pumping blood, nutrients, oxygen, vitality throughout your entire body. Becoming this dynamic energy field. Is your body your pranamaya kosha? Resting in the prana. Basking in pratyahara. Inner aliveness, inner sensations. Feeling that aspect of yourself that is aliveness. Allow yourself to simply bask in pratyahara, inner aliveness, inner sensation, all the energy focused on that felt sense of your being. And allow yourself to rest in the emotional body as well, manamaya kosha. Basking in that inner sensations. Becoming fully immersed in the felt sense of your being. Invite you now to bring your single point of focus into your heart. All of your attention focused, directed into the heart. Stay focused for several breaths. training the mind to not be distracted, to stay focused on a single point of focus. If you move into thinking or you get distracted from the focus of your heart, simply bring yourself kindly and gently back. All your focused attention on your ever-expanding dynamic heart, your innermost sanctuary, sacred sanctuary. Feeling into the heart, physical heart and that energetic heart. Energetic heart is right in the center of the chest. Single point of focus into the heart. And letting that focus go now and allowing your mind to rest in pure, conscious, awake, alert awareness. Experience yourself as simply aware. Just aware. Not aware of anything, just simply aware. Pure awareness. And let that awareness take you even deeper into samadhi. Resting in your pure conscious awareness. Knowing you are everywhere. You are everything. Resting in the inner silence. Basking in pure awareness, silent stillness. Everything, nothing in particular. Everywhere, nowhere in particular. Beginning to breathe into the belly, coming back into the body. Safely, deeply peaceful. Noticing the physical body, where it's connected to the earth, and needs grounding. And the beautiful peace and stillness. Pass through and take residence within. Feeling the heart expanded, more expanded than when you began practice. Open, vibrating. And beginning to wiggle the fingers and the toes, stretching out the arms and legs. Rolling over to your side. And gently and kindly coming up to a seated position. And taking a moment to scan the body and the being, the inner aliveness. Taking note of any subtle changes from the beginning of practice. I always feel more spacious within, deeper sense of calm and peace, more aliveness, more vibrancy. And going back to that intention that you set at the beginning of practice, planting that firmly into your consciousness. Taking another deep breath into the belly. See if there's a spontaneous chant that wants to come through. Yotekeya, otekeya, eke hunde matekene he, otekeya, hunde hatekeya, haya hunde ateke, hunde hateyake. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of love, of light, of truth, and of peace. When I am in that place in me, and you are in that place in you, we are one. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining. Please join us this Saturday for Earth 2022 Global Meditation for Peace. Wishing you a beautiful and blessed day.